It's time for trigger warning.
Trigger warning! Fuck your feelings, you little snowflake! Triggerwarning.tv.
Hello, you lovely triggerists out there. Thank you for joining us this evening on Live Leak, where I'm aware there's no Troll Central. I'd love to give you guys some information, I just can't. The guys watching on triggerwarning.tv, someone says there's no sound. I know there is. I can see the thing popping up and down on it. Cheeky scamp. If you're watching on Facebook, hello! And if you're on YouTube, it's on my old YouTube channel, which is Hayden Hewitt, because we're banned from streaming on the Trigger Warning channel just for a little while because we had some issues with nudity and things that they got really just annoyed by. So, yeah, we're out there. And if you're watching on Facebook, pretty soon we're going to be saying goodbye to Facebook because I just don't like it. So I will let you know when that happens. We're gonna let you know about that, and we'll do it. We'll definitely do a farewell Facebook show. We'll sign off in style. I'm joined this evening by the boys. Hello, boys.
Hello.
How you doing, Graham? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just getting on top of the social media and all that.
You just get on top of that social media. Now, a lot of you guys probably know. Not only does Graham do the Trigger Warning thing, and the Trigger Warning podcast and everything else, he's got this amazing show called Game Face Show, does the TV show on a Thursday, does a radio show on a Sunday, which is carried by TW Radio, our radio station, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we schedule it in so that, you can hear Graham do his show. And it's all great, it's all scheduled, it's all proper. But, this week, I'm giving my son a bath, so I thought, well, he was messing around playing, I'll just check and have a listen in. And I could just hear music, and not chiptune music, just strange music. Now, earlier, Graham had told me he was feeling tired. Now, I jokingly said, well, why don't you have a nap till 9 o'clock? Just as a joke. He took it seriously. He fucking fell asleep in the radio station, didn't you, Graham?
I did, yeah.
And you were telling him on the TV show tonight when I was poorly. But you weren't really poorly by Sunday, were you, Graham?
Well, it was obviously lingering more than I realised.
It was warm. He was on his own. The lights were dimmed.
Do you know what?
The chair was comfortable.
Yeah. That is the second Sunday of the month is the one time of the month that I'm actually on my own. Properly on my own. And I've engineered, I used to always have someone in the studio, but I've engineered it so I get one show a month, just me, and it's probably a mistake and not going to happen again.
What time does your show start, Graham?
It starts at 7.
What time did you wake up, Graham?
I woke up at 7:37.
When we're doing the podcast, we record it. What time do we record it, Graham?
We do it at 10:30.
10:30. And what time do you usually wake up?
I usually wake up at about 28 minutes past. I'm woken up for it.
Slept through your own TV show.
I set an alarm.
Radio show.
I set an alarm for Tuesday actually, and it didn't go off. And what I'd done was I was that sleepy that I'd set it for the following day. So I woke up it was set for 10:12. I woke up at 10:22 in a panic again, as I always do, and I come on air going, "Oh God, sorry, Aidan, give us a second, I need a brew." It went off the next night. I was just sat there chilling, and my alarm went off at like 10:20.
That happened to me with reminders. I always set reminders for the wrong day because I'm a fucking idiot. Cherry, how you doing, fella? You all right?
Oh, fucking don't ask.
No, I'm not. No, what? You're all right. Just we're British. I'm gonna say you're all right. You go, yeah.
Sound?
David, see?
Worst week of my life, but
there we go.
sound.
Best week of your life.
It will be.
It will be. Yes.
Well, tonight it will
you
be.
can tell Jerry's younger than the rest of us because I go home and fall asleep on the couch trying to pretend that I like watching the Grand Tour. Graham might hit the PlayStation for 10 minutes and fall asleep while he's on the PlayStation. You're out to the titty bar tonight, aren't you?
I certainly am, yeah.
You're going to look at some tits.
Jiggling about all over the place whilst having a pint.
Fantastic.
Great.
Fantastic. You enjoy that.
I will.
I mean, I guess how can't you?
You know.
Do you know I've never been to a titty bar?
I'll try and get some for Patreon.
I when I used to work for quite a big UK company.
Yeah.
And we're out doing a few of the trade shows. The sales director said, "Look, we're all going to the lap dancing club. Do you want to come with?" No. I just feel a bit uncomfortable. looking at these beautiful ladies is wonderful, but it's just awkward.
I went to a lap dancing
awkward.
bar in Edinburgh, and it was fantastic.
I just find it very, especially when I had, our old drummer Tim.
Oh yeah.
He went to Eastern Europe once and he got dragged to one, and she ground her ass in his face, which sounds nice, but she did it that hard. He got a nosebleed. She pushed his head against the wall and just. But he said he could feel the tip of his nose going up her arsehole. So that didn't sound hygienic.
I've got a little bald spot from something similar to that I'm not going to go into.
Well, you got it now. You
no,
can't.
No, I'm not with her anymore, so it'd be a bit like now.
What? She's not watching?
No, I know she's not watching. But no, I've got a little bald spot in my beard because of enjoying myself down there.
That's not why I've got a bald spot.
Bit too
I enjoy it down there, but I don't remember ever getting my chin and going.
That's my one hard-earned bald spot. The rest of it's just old age.
Just happening.
I'm proud of that one. Oh, she was excited.
There should not be noises coming from out of there.
Are we getting swatted?
That'd be impressive, but there should not be noises out there.
Do you know what would be the worst part of being swatted? Would be when they played the video back on the news later and you just see me pathetically hiding behind cherries and get shot.
Last time I went out there, I was dressed like a fucking elf on the Christmas show.
To be honest, though, swatted in the UK wouldn't be the same thing, would it?
No, it'd just be a bit of a knock on the door.
Yeah, from two PCSOs. Can we have a chat with you?
Rent a cops. St John's ambulance.
Let's have a look here. Anon Sugarist 1902 says it's alopecia areata, you dicks. Get you? Somebody's trying to find an excuse for the baldness in the chat room there, aren't they? Actually, it's alopecia areata. It's just a terrible thing. Going bald, live with it. On tonight's show, we are going to talk about the Florida shooting and also more the repercussions of it than anything else, because it's been covered ad infinitum in the press, and rightly so. We're also going to take a look at some of the other headlines from the week. But I would like to say, because we didn't get to do a show last week, because I was very, very poorly. I was dreadfully fucking ill all week. Don't know what went wrong, but whatever it was, it went really, really fucking wrong. So I didn't do anything. But Donald Trump's military parade. What in the fuck are you thinking? Seriously? Does anyone support this idea that you want to turn the most powerful and pretty much most wonderful nation on earth into some kind of fucking banana republic? Now, some people say, well, you have them there with the change in the guard, trooping the colour. Don't copy us! We're fucked! We've got a monarchy! You don't want him to be the king? King Trump? Yeah, it'll be like some twisted version of a North Korea military parade with fucking Captain Bone Spurs there presiding over it. Yes, very good. No, come on, guys, don't. I know no one watching this has any say in this, but don't do this. This is a very bad idea, and it will cost $30 million. For the parade, $30 million. Now, a lot of people say things like, well, think what you could do with that, but governments can't. They just piss it up the wall anyway, so what does it matter? But, there are lots of places $30 million could go that aren't a military parade for the man with the little hands. Great pic you found there, by the way, Graham. Shooting. I've got a lot of people complaining in here, by the way, about why the live leak chat isn't working. As I've said, I'm not fixing the chat because there's a reason chat is broke. I just can't share that with you at the moment. But putting man hours into fixing something that's going to be obsolete would be really stupid. But, seeing as you asked so nicely, you fucking entitled pricks. Sorry, at least you got something you can type on. What does it matter where you type that shit? Dear me. And then someone said, why doesn't it work for 5 months? The chat worked last show we did, didn't it?
It did work, yeah. Last show it did work. And it's funny as well, actually, because if you go back up through the trigger warning chat, but at the start of the show, they were complaining it wasn't working for 3 months. But so just
5 months now.
10 minutes in, they're like,
10 years.
5 months.
10 fucking years.
It's like dog years, isn't it?
In other news, the people on the internet find things as important as ever. Whilst we have war, famine, starving, oppression, everything else, 1 million people have complained to Snapchat about their app. Have either of you guys used Snapchat?
Not really, no.
Very briefly, and it does the thing where people can search via contacts.
I don't know.
And well, you know, any app, it goes, oh, do you want?
Oh, right, from you.
Yeah. So someone that I used to work with added me, and it was a she, and I was like, and it was my only friend on it, and I was just like, this is a bit weird. I just logged out and left it.
I've never used it. Obviously, I'm 45. I don't.
Well, you send pictures and they disappear, so it's like.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah. So I was like, well, why? Yeah, like.
Whap.
Someone that I spoke to like once in the last 3-4 years or something, just to little chat about my kid. Oh, you had a baby, and sent a couple of pictures and that's it. And it's like, I don't want to be your Snapchatter. That was a bit weird. Maybe I should have done, eh?
Yeah.
That could have been my.
You think?
I've had another buzz. I need to check it. Oh.
So haven't you got enough problems with that fucking Instagram feed?
She's got some right jeans on today. Oh.
It's probably not good.
I've sacked off Instagram. I'm sick of it.
You spent so long curating
I
that
know,
list of.
I got a wonderful feed and everything, but I'm just bored of it now. It's just got that I'm just getting that Facebook vibe. Right? I'm getting this. I can feel the algorithm showing me certain things at certain point, and I'm just like, no.
I can imagine that must be a terrible burden.
Yeah.
Speaking of Facebook, we are coming off Facebook fairly soon. Not like tonight or anything, but it is going to be fairly soon. Just because I've been saying it for so long that it feels hypocritical not to leave.
I mean, what we could do is we could do a little 5-minute video and then stream it just on Facebook for like maybe a month before we go live.
Yeah,
saying,
let them know.
I'm not here. Get here, and there can be links in the description.
Yeah, and then we'll just sack it off altogether.
Rather than just abandon everyone completely,
And I've just noticed people are still moaning about having no. You sat there chatting, you thick fucking moron! You're moaning about no chats in a fucking chat room. You've had to go to a different fucking address. Is that G.I. Joe? Have you been at your fucking sleeping pills again? It's gonna be G.I. Joe, isn't it? It's gonna be G.I. Joe. Someone said I told you Facebook would fail. We do all right on Facebook numbers. I get quite a few hundred people over the course. I just don't want to be a part of it.
I'm the same. I mean, Gameface gets hundreds. We get 600-700 views on Facebook.
Well, we went up to a couple of those videos, thousands.
Thousands, yeah.
But I don't want to be on the platform, so we're going to come away. We'll lose views, but who really gives a fuck? Just move on. Move on. Live Leak, #1 home. YouTube when they let us stream again. And I don't know after. I'm not really fucked after that.
We'll go through all our channels on YouTube.
Whilst we're talking about Facebook, actually, we've only had 5 hearts on it tonight. I'm very disappointed. We've got less hearts than we do likes. Disgusted.
Guys, get them in while you can.
I know. I'll read them out in about 10-20 minutes or so. Give you a chance to get your shit together.
Yeah, come on now. Don't be fucking letting us down. We've not done one of these for a week. Running out, which reminds me, we got to say there's the new. Some of you guys are already on it. The new Trigger Warning TV site, which is out now. It's got loads of information on the front page, all the articles, got the latest video, got the radio player, got all the podcasts. New podcasts came out this morning, episode 8, where you can listen to Graham and I desperately trying to stay on topic. Graham needed a poo this week, which added some drama and excitement to it. There's an old school forum we just installed. Nothing's happening on it yet. We don't really aggressively drive any traffic there. But if you go to forums, if you've got an account on the main site, it'll automatically go across. You just log in and that's it. Old school forums. If you join the user group, the Underground, there's going to be pretty much a complete freedom of speech few sections in there. The only rules in there will be no doxing, nothing illegal. Don't take it back out of that section with you, any other butt hurt or anything like that. Apart from that, just fucking pretty much anything goes. So that's going to be fun. And enjoyable. We've got the radio station site coming up probably in the next couple of weeks, and a couple of other things on the go as well. And also we released the new Trigger Warning Safe Space video today, which was Cherry's turn in the hot seat.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Have you watched it yet?
Fantastic.
No, I've not
I'll
seen
send you
it.
the link after. It's very
shit.
good. And if you want to watch those, you have to be one of our patrons on Patreon. It's patreon.com/triggerwarningtv. I think it's like $4.99 a month or more. It's up to you. And that gets you early access stuff on the podcast. You get like usually a half hour of extra material on the podcast. You get the safe space mini shows, and we got a lot more stuff planned for that to really add some value in there. So check it out. Someone said you could have 10,000 viewers if you fix the chat on LL. Noobs. I'm getting advice from someone that sits in his fucking house masturbating to My Little Pony videos. Yeah. Telling me, well, if you did this, you'd have to... It reminds me of that guy that once said, I'm a producer, and I could tell you how to fix your shows. I said, that's fucking brilliant. Can you tell me some of the shows you've worked on?
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. Oh, you do? It's like people tell us how to run a website all the time. If LiveLeak did this, you do that. How many websites have you run? Well, I don't need to run a website. I just know. I inherently know what works. It's obvious. You know.
I got a weird guy commenting on one of my live leak videos, like talking about me as if it wasn't me who'd posted it.
Yeah.
And
I saw that.
Yeah, and I messaged him, and he carried on talking. And then I clicked through on his thing, and all he does is just embed YouTube's, or not even his.
Yeah, just other people's.
And I was just like, who the fuck are you? He's like, oh, it's a bit better lit than the usual fare or whatever. Like, I'm right here, man. I'm like, I can talk to you. Like, it was really weird. I just left.
Get all sorts, dude.
Yeah.
Get all sorts. So, yeah, remember the forums. Go and check them out. It's forums.triggerwarning.tv.
I have linked it on the Facebook and the Trigger Warning chat.
Sweet.
I'll link it on the YouTube, but I have to get rid of the .com, so you'll have to copy and do all the rest.
Have people found us on the YouTube? Because I think they're just watching via.
You've got 36 people watching right now on YouTube, even though it's not the official.
That's
37.
a surprise.
Yeah.
That's a fucking surprise because I buried that. Just fucking. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Do you know what? You better read the hearts out because they're pissing and moaning about that in the chat room.
Yeah. Oh no, the hearts instantly went up. Instantly. And we're getting actual heart comments as well. Bill's give us a heart comment.
Some guys.
But yeah, we've got Mark, Colin, John, James, Mark, Fano, Guy, Lynn, and Alice. There you go.
Different channel guys.
Don't be so fucking repressed.
I'm comfortable with who I am.
That's okay.
And we got loads of comments, loads of everything. Everyone's all over the place. Brant has said that Graham is sound, not like Cherry and Hayden. They are such bastards.
No, Cherry's like this really sweet, nice guy. He's like a top bloke. Don't be so. I'm a complete and utter cunt. Fair enough, but these two are like really sound geezers, you know, proper.
Alice as well, who gave us the heart just now, said it was strange not listening to you guys last week.
Oh, it was strange not being listened to you last week, Alice. By you last week. In fact, it was very awkward. We're up to 7 months. Is that Gene Hoglan?
No, just seeing that.
That's got a fucking sting. He's doing kickboxing now. He's training. He'll be fucking willowy thin. So
Get my ass kicked.
Willowy thin. Try and not just bounce up and down with it. That makes it
this
really
mouse
hard
is
for me to read.
fucked. I'm trying to. I pull it down and it just shoots up. You see how it does it?
Yeah, when you're scrolling down, it does scroll back up again.
At 1922 says, check for those 1 billion WordPress backdoors and update it for us. What? You do whatever you want. If you hack the site, you hack the fucking site and it goes down. It's a WordPress site. What do you want me to do about it? I take backups. It's alright. It's alright. We got any emails? Because I've not told anybody to email us. It's there, and you can Skype in on that as well. Live at triggerwarning.tv. That's the email. That's the Skype. Get in touch. Skype in. Talk to us. Unless you're G.I. Joe. Get on video. Have a chat. It'd be great. It'd be lovely. Let's hear those emails, Cherry.
Smoke Steve. Firstly, is there a chat? Also, do you guys all play in a band together?
I've not been in a band for... Jesus, how long's it been? Fucking 15 years. Fuck. Must be about 15 years at least since I was in a band. I don't remember when I left Visitor.
I did a couple of charity gigs a few years ago. That was about it.
Graham's in a band.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't hook up with them all last year. Like at all. I mean, obviously I did because I saw them outside of it, but we didn't do that many practices because obviously the lead singers had a kid, so it was kind of a bit. And then there was a gig around Christmas, and I was like, no, fuck off! I can't do it. I can't just catch up a year and nah. They'll probably get someone else.
Graham was in a band.
I was in a band, yeah. I think that's probably the long way
It was
of
called
saying
Livestock Jihad.
Livestock Jihad!
We
Yeah.
play some of the tunes on TW Radio as it goes.
Good fucking... The best shit band you've ever heard. That's what we are. No, we are. Like, really, really enjoyable shit band.
One of my mates in the band, and he's like that fella out of League of Gentlemen, you know, about creme brulee. Proper living the dream. He's fucking...
I could never join another band. I could never do
I
it.
couldn't. I'd do it for my own thing, you know, on the bass side, but that's about it, really.
I couldn't be locked in a room with fucking... No, those days are fucking long gone. Right. Oh, hang on. Graham's found
Happy
something.
Dogs said, tell me about medieval crop rotation, Cherry. Hashtag Team Cherry.
Oh, mate.
Tell him to go fuck himself, Jerry.
You know what? I'll go all into that shit. I've done a bit of research on it. You have to pay to watch that.
I hate to break it to you, the questions will be different next time.
Oh, shit. That's fucked me.
James has also said that this heart is especially for Cherry, and then there's a little heart emoji.
Aww.
And then again, Thanos said, I enjoy Cherry.
Oh, cheers, lads. Nice one.
There's a lot of Cherry love.
Cherry's going to have chlamydia in the morning.
In the mouth.
Just everywhere. Fucking riddled with it. Riddled with it. Right. You'll all know, but there was, of course, a shooting in Florida yesterday. School shooting left 17 people dead. And many more injured. Some of the dead died trying to shield the students from the shooter, who apparently entered the school. This is just from what we know. Pulled the fire alarm, things set the fire alarm off, and in the confusion started shooting people. The shooter is called Nicholas Cruz, and unusually, he lived. In fact, he nearly escaped. He mingled with the crowds, left the scene, and was picked up a little while later. The media is naturally, you know, like everything else, there's a cycle to these things. There's the shooting. There are thoughts and prayers. We can't talk about that at this time. People forget. People move on. There's a shooting. Thoughts and prayers. We can't talk about guns right now. And it's this never-ending cycle. In fact, as soon as this happened, a lot of people seized on the fact he was a Trump supporter, as if, how did they know? He was a communist because he had a T-shirt with fucking Stalin on it and all that. People were basically instantly turning this to their narrative, whether it was for gun control, for less gun control, whether they were Republican or Democrat or whatever. People just turned it to fit their narrative. 17 dead people just to fit their narrative. Of course, the fucking lunatics came out with the false flag theory straight away, without hesitation. Just another one of those crisis actors. You know the shit. But I don't want to talk about those dickheads tonight. Or maybe later. I'll set them aside for now. Now they're saying that Nicholas Cruz, who is a very troubled young man, that's certainly for sure, was affiliated to a white nationalist movement in Florida and had trained with them, and all these things are coming out. And of course there's a great deal of focus on the fact that he used an AR-15 rifle. And I'm not really a gun guy, okay? But when I see people say AR-15, you know what the AR stands for? Yeah, Armor Light Rifle. No, Assault Rifle. No, that's not what it stands for. That argument gets going again. People want to ban all guns. People want to ban some guns. People want more guns. And if only we had armed teachers and all these things. Now, I get accused whenever we talk about this that I somehow support a gun ban in the US, and I don't. It's none of my business. I've been to the States, as we've said before when we spoke about these sort of things. I've fired guns. Huge amount of fun. I have no interest in telling you what to do. Our cultures are quite dissimilar in many ways, and I think that's one of the problems. You get people from Europe or from Britain saying ban guns, it worked here, or people in Australia, where it worked very well in terms of mass shootings, saying ban guns, ban guns, ban guns, ban guns. But they instantly think they can overlay this to America, and many Americans are guilty of this as well, thinking that their culture should be overlaid on others. Certain things cultures don't. I recognise that as a British person living in the culture that I live in, and the realistic fears of the crimes that we can suffer and things like that. I just don't feel the need for a gun. It's not part of our culture in that way. In the US, it is, as well as being written into your constitution. So tonight, this is not about any, let's ban all guns in the US, but I would like to talk about what the fuck you guys can do to stop the volume of mass killings. Now, I've got some stats. They were put together by a charity that investigates gun stats. So doubtless someone will tell me they're wrong, but anyway, here we go. Between 2014 and 2017, 56,755 Americans were killed by guns. It doesn't break down into who, how, why, what. It's killed by guns. 56,755. In 2017 alone, 15,590 Americans were killed by guns. Children under the age of 12 killed or injured between those 3-year dates, 2,710. Mass shootings between 2014 and 2017, 1,333. Now, I know there's a lot of thing about what constitutes a mass shooting, so I understand that aspect. Mass shootings so far in 2018, 30. It's only the 15th of February. 30 mass shootings. Now, banning guns will not stop this in the United States. And people say, well, it's a mental health issue, not a gun issue. Especially all the Republican politicians at the minute saying we shouldn't really focus on guns at this time. If you look at a breakdown as to how many of them are given quite large sums of money by the NRA, you might get a better handle onto that. But if it is a mental health issue, that's a very, very complex issue to tackle. So what do you do? Because if there is this mental health problem, the US is not unique in having mental health issues. Not at all. People in the States are very much the same as people from anywhere else. So is it the access of people with mental health issues to guns? Nicholas Cruz bought his guns legally from federally authorized dealer. The family that took him in after his mother died insisted they were locked away. Everything was done according to how it should be done. And didn't Donald Trump roll back that rule about people with mental health issues owning guns? Wasn't that rolled back as well? Get the extra sales in. Now, I'm no expert, but I don't think it's a good idea to allow people with mental health issues to own guns. So I need you guys to lead me on this, because I know we got some real gun guys watching, and that's cool, because I need your opinion as well. Because online you only get the two extremes. You know, either ban all of them, or we should be allowed to have rocket launchers. It seems very little in between. So give me some nuance here. Help me understand, because I don't understand the mindset. I understand how much fun guns can be, how exciting and scary they can be. I get it. I do get it. I don't understand the home defense argument or anything. Don't really get that. I don't understand owning an AR-15 and telling me you use it for hunting or anything, but I do understand people saying I own one because I can and I enjoy it. So I get it. But what can you do to lower these sort of numbers of these types of crimes? Now, it's an incorrect argument to say, taking away certain types of guns, only the criminals will have guns and all that. But it's not completely inaccurate, because over here, only the criminals have guns. Although there are a lot of registered gun owners in the UK. They have the 2.2 long fire version of the AR-15, the imitation one, sporting rifle, it's known as. There are a lot of gun owners here, but we have a very different criminal element who tend to just shoot each other, which is perfectly acceptable, apart from in the odd innocent civilian shot. Also, having a gun in the house is no guarantee that the guy that comes into your house, if you have that real fear of a home invasion where they want to murder you, isn't going to be better than you, won't take it off you or anything else. But what I think it might do is give you a bit of peace of mind to sleep at night. It makes you feel more secure. So nobody should mock you for that. That is the environment you live in. That is the culture you have. That is your belief. So why should you be mocked for it if you can legally own them? But what can be done to slow down these sort of mass shooting type events? Would these people go and get them anyway? I don't understand the right to bear arms and form a militia and what the original intent was. I do get that, okay? But is can the same as should? What's reasonable? Should it just be any guns are acceptable? Should there be stricter background checks? Well, maybe it's not even about guns. Maybe there's something else. Everyone says it's a mental health issue, not a gun issue. But no one comes up with anything that can be done about it, because you know, invariably the people that say that to me don't believe in social health care and things of that nature. So that can be a problem as well. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't know what the answers are. You know, unlike a lot of online commentators that say, I know what the answers are and I'm going to tell you. That's not me. I'll give opinions on things, but I can't tell people in another country what to fucking do. It's got fuck all to do with me. I'm just interested. And I'd like you to let me know live at triggerwarning.tv. You can mail in on that. You can Skype in on that. You can do whatever you like on that. But get in touch. Let me know. What is it I'm missing? You know, would it be so terrible? But then again, if they banned AR-15s, aren't there a myriad of other very similar rifles available? Didn't the Vegas shooter use a SIG? Right, I think he had an AR-15 there, but I think he used a SIG, didn't he? Sig Sauer, I don't know the model number, whatever. So where does it end? Where does it end? If you're out there and you believe in less guns, you're in the States, or you believe in a gun ban, let me know. Let me know how that would work. Because whenever I hear people saying we should ban all guns like you have in other countries, I'm thinking, aren't there something, how many 100 millions of guns are out there? It's over 300 million guns, isn't it? What are you going to do? Go around and take them off people? You know, what's the answer? What's the answer? And some people really are, you know, believe in the Constitution to the word, never mind when it was written or anything like that, don't give a shit. They feel that that protects them from the government, offers them a layer of protection from the government. I don't believe that it does, but it makes them feel like it does, and they've got their rights too. And then you got the NRA. Massive player in lobbying, massive, gives huge amounts, so it donates huge amounts of money to politicians to ensure that things go their way. And the road show is probably on its way to Florida if it's not already there. I'm sure they'd wheel out Charlton Heston if they could, and would get the line, "This is not the time to talk about gun control." So let me know. Alex has said, banning guns is very idealistic. It's not something you can realistically achieve. Over here in the UK, if you want to get your hands on a gun, you can. Most American criminals don't get their guns legally, so banning legal sales won't do an awful lot to help that. Yeah, it's not that easy to get a gun here. I think that's overstated a little bit. If you look at most of the gun crimes that do happen here with criminals, the guns are... I mean, they'll still fucking kill you. But the relics, the destroyed old shitters and fucking converted blank firing guns and things like that, not that easy to get. And also we have very different cultures. If the criminals had guns here, they mostly use them to shoot other criminals. They don't tend to break in houses and shoot people. Because there is an escalation when homeowners have more guns, criminals have more guns. When the police have more guns, criminals have more guns. And you can't roll that back. So it is incredibly idealistic, in my opinion. Graham, you look like you had something you wanted to chip in with there, mate.
I just wanted to look you right in the eyes for a moment.
All right, I thought it was something.
No, because I've been hunched over, haven't I? I just sort of popped my head over.
Oh, you just checking on me?
Oh yeah, I was just checking on you. I mean, there's a lot to say. I mean, that whole well, people can get guns anyway thing. The statistics on that kind of fall apart when countries that have banned guns don't have mass shootings anymore. That's kind of you could argue one way or the other about the.
Well, there is no doubt banning guns in the States would result in less of these mass shootings, because it would, but I think it would bring more problems still, because the America has a gun culture, for better, for worse, for indifferent, however you feel about it. It just does, and I don't think you can just. Let's make that go away.
Fano Moore said that gun ownership should be 21, age 21, before you can get a gun, which to me just seems bloody obvious. Why would you sell a gun to an 18-year-old? Absolutely crazy. Anton said, if we had access to guns same as the USA, we know kids will play with them. They get showed off by parents. They know that the thing is in the house, ready to be used and easy to get to. Crimson Succubus said, true, but you can't blame the parent if the child takes the gun and decides to go on a shooting spree.
Well, you can. You most assuredly can.
A non-triggerist 1877 said, no one should mock American gun owners for feeling scared and insecure.
I've not done that.
No, I think he was just taking
All right.
out of Americans. We've got a Skype call if you fancy it.
Yeah, I'm just looking. People saying they keep getting logged out of TW. I can't do anything about that. That chat is not designed to have a lot of people in it. But also, someone said shitty bandwidth. What?
I don't know.
What on earth is that? Is that G.I. Joe again? He comes out with shit that he once read on a website and decides that's technical knowledge. He does shit like that, doesn't he?
But it's actually Affidlip on the phone. It's not G.I. Joe this week.
No, thank fuck
It's
for that.
somebody that can string a sentence together and.
Let's chat to
How's he
Affidlip.
gone?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
I'll call him
You
back.
left him too long. Go on, give him a
I
ring
got a
back.
lovely crackle of noise there, though. That was quite substantial.
Oh, there we go. We've got him back.
Hello.
Ooh, the audio's terrible.
Is it? I can't.
I can hear you. If you can hear me fine, I can conversate.
I can hear you just fine, mate. What happened is somebody that works in the other offices here was instructed to tidy up in a different room because no one's allowed in the studio. But he wasn't paying attention. He came in the studio and tidied up. Left everything
like
in
tied up with a scouring pad on your mic.
He left everything in a massive fucking pile, which I walked into today. So I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the sound issues are. There's probably a cable been trodden on somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but I can understand. Yeah, so if you can hear me, then we'll just continue.
So how you doing, fella? You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. How you guys doing tonight?
Well, Cherry's super. He's off to the titty bar after this, so he's made up.
I heard. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the titty bars myself either. One time I made it to the titty bar, and I'm not interested in some chick that's not interested in me shoving some twat that I definitely am not interested in being shoved in my face, but maybe that's just me.
I share a very similar opinion. However, I'm perfectly understanding of people that are quite happy with that. So,
Usually they're covered with the cheapest perfume that any woman could splash on it.
Oh, of course. Could I just interrupt you one sec? I think it's G.I. Joe again moaning about the video has 2 pixels per minute. The video is being served by YouTube, who I believe have rather a lot of bandwidth. I rather think it's because you're too busy downloading the kind of pornography that could cause you problems getting anywhere near a school, young man. So let's stop being a dick. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Do carry on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just called about the the topic of the hour. I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep up because I know there's like a 2-minute delay. But you guys were talking about the mass shooting. I'm guessing you might still be talking about that. And the problem that we have here in the United States with it, and I'm with you. I don't have the answers to it. I think it's a complicated issue that unfortunately is a divided issue, like almost every issue here in the United States is. And depending on what camp you're in, you're forced to think one way or another, and nobody can reason. And you did ask the question that why they are scaling back the mental illness restrictions on buying guns.
Yes.
And I don't have an answer to that, but I will tell you what Paul Ryan, who I looked up has a A+ rating by the NRA, said this afternoon. He did say that he thinks that if they do scale back that ruling, or if they do amp that up with that people, because they want to hunt, won't seek the medical attention they need for their mental illness because of the stigma that that not being able to get a gun would do. So there's the answer that's being peddled around.
So
today
basically,
by our leaders.
Basically, thoughts and prayers. That's all people have got, isn't it? Really, that's it. That's the only solution. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, right. Thoughts and prayers is gonna fix this problem. And it's always, it's never okay to talk about it after it happens. But this is happening. They were talking about earlier. I think it's the 18th school shooting we've had this year. And how many days are we into the year?
I don't think you've had 18 school shootings.
There's been 18 school shootings this year already alone.
Has there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not mass. I'm not talking about mass casualties.
Oh, right. Just shootings, incidents.
Incidents where some of them people died and some of them people didn't. Sometimes they don't even make the news anymore because they're not a big deal. And they used to make a huge splash, in the media. But since Columbine, we're used to seeing the kids walking out of the schools with their hands up from the helicopters. It doesn't affect us like it did before.
I just don't even know. Imagine becoming blasé about kids being shot. Imagine a world where that's possible. Right.
Yeah, I mean, we both have kids, and I send my kid to school just like you probably do, and statistically, I know he's got more of a chance of dying in a car accident on the way to the school than he does at school still, but it's not a very
of course,
mentally, you can understand why some kids have problems with the reality of what we're living.
Of course, and then you get the arguments, though, don't you? You get the counter arguments from people that think you're attacking their inalienable right just by asking, and they say shit to me like, "Well, you have knife crime in the UK, ban knives," or 1.3 million people died in cars, ban cars. But I hate to point out to these people that knives have more than one purpose. I've never once buttered toast with an AR-15 or AK-74. Not 47, there's a difference, isn't there? I've been trying to read up on this shit. 74 is the civilian one, is it? I don't know. Cars. Out of the 1.3 million deaths, how many of those were homicides? Cars have more than one purpose. They're not only made to kill things. So I hate those sort of arguments. I despise them because they're not arguments.
No,
they're
whataboutery to do. There's stuff that's fed to us. There's stuff that's fed to us to fight, a narrative that they're all fitting. And on top of that, your cars and your vehicles, you have to pass certain tests to be able to drive them. You have to, you have to get that checked out. You can't have bad eyesight. There's restrictions on what you can do with a vehicle or without a vehicle. With guns, there is no.
Well, also
there's no tests.
The other side, though, when they say these,
it's absurd, and it's so if you like me and you can sit here and talk about this, but if you talk with because I'm fairly, I think of myself as fairly independent, but with somebody that they instantly go to their space and they combat you, and they don't want to have they always use the excuse that you want to take all our guns, or this person that's trying to do some gun restrictions is trying to grab all the guns, when it's just not the case. If you're trying to take one AR-15, and I'm not saying I want to, I'm just saying for argument's sake, if one politician is saying, look, let's take a look at this mass magazine assault rifle and take it off the market, well, then somebody else is going to use it and say that they're trying to take all our guns away.
Where's the Constitution?
It's absurd that that's the argument that they're trying to make.
Well, dude, we got to move on, but thank you so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it. It's always a pleasure, Aphid Lip. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, take care, boys. It's keep up the good work, and hopefully we get that chat back soon.
It will be back soon, I promise.
All right.
Take care, mate. Interesting point on that we were getting to near the end. I had a chat with Richie Allen this morning on the phone.
Yes.
Because he did a piece on this tonight about, this is inevitably where the narcissistic sort of culture goes. I call it the self-entitlement culture. And it is one of these big problems you see in arguments like this, that nobody can even entertain an opposing opinion now.
Yeah.
They can't even entertain it to give it headspace to decide whether they agree or disagree, or even break down an argument. What everyone does now is argue with whataboutery, the famous Russian technique of fucking stirring shit with a stick and never getting anything done, or they outright attack you. And no one can hear an opinion that doesn't bond with them. It's like I can, and it's not that I'm unique, because you do it. Yourself and myself, we're quite different on a lot of points.
Oh yeah.
But you can talk about them. I mean, I'm not nearly as racist and fascist as you. Richie Allen and myself, we disagree wildly on things. Richie believes in things that I won't even give headspace to. But I'll always listen to an opinion, because how can I help formulate my own without understanding where other people are coming from?
Yeah, you need that other thing. You can't echo chamber it or you're fucked, aren't you? I did actually fact check the 18 number, and a few places are reporting that there's been 18 schools.
18.
The only one that contradicted it was the Guardian, that said 8, but I don't know how they're drawing it. But yeah, there's actually been 30 mass shootings in this year alone.
I've just been told there that apparently it's humans that are the problem rather than the guns themselves. That's another slippery pickle. That's another fucking ridiculous argument.
If America can't go 3 days without a mass shooting, then you need to start looking at changing the law.
I think something's got to be done. I just don't know what, but it's not for me to fix.
Mark's on the phone if you fancy it.
Yeah, let's have a chat with Mark. Hello.
Hi Hayden, you alright mate?
I'm doing well, fella. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm doing good. Evening to Graham and Cherry there in the corner. Yeah, but just the sound is really bad. It sounds like
there's a lot of noise. There is a lot of noise on the Skype line, but there's I've got to basically rewire the entire studio now, and I'm going to put that off as long as humanly possible. I'm not going to lie to you, because it's a tedious, thankless, dreadful fucking job.
yeah.
So what can we do for you tonight, sir?
Well, I was just I was thinking, like, not about a solution to these mass shootings what you get, but you get like in one of the first ones that came into public attention, the Columbine shooting from the 90s. They had the social cliques what they have going on in American high schools and everything. They have the jocks that pick on the nerds and all this, well, that was sort of like, that did have something to do with that shooting back there, and I think it could be something possibly rooted in the school system, the way they have these cliques and everything, these people excluded and whatnot.
You're probably onto that there. I think the only thing is why, because that's something that's been in place for a long, long time. Why is it suddenly worse? And our entitlement culture probably plays a large part in that. Who are you to tell me what to fucking do and things like that? But also there's got to be something that has triggered this escalation over the years. There's something seriously amiss. But simplistic answers like ban guns or more guns or any of that crap obviously aren't going to do anything. There's something really wrong.
There's something that's going on there that's fundamentally broken, and we need to address that, don't we, really?
I guess it's the political will to do it, and it's probably not that easy. If I'm honest, it's probably quite hard. And I'm sure there are people far above our pay grade that are working on it right now and would like to come up with something that would accommodate most everybody. But I can't even begin to think where the problem is.
Yeah. I mean, there was one guy. I mean, he was a rich kid, wasn't he? Who did a shooting a few years. and it was basically because he couldn't get laid, and he decided to kill a lot.
That's a bit of a harsh reaction, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he had a director father or what have you. He could have sort of like just applied them with a bit of money or drugs or whatever they wanted to get a bit of food, you know.
You think if you've always got money, you got to get laid. Dude, Mark, got to crack on because we're going to run out of time. Got a couple of other people to address here. But listen, thank you so much for calling in. Always appreciate it, mate.
All right, good to talk to you. All right,
take care, fella. Bye-bye. That was Mark there. Just seen here saying, are people sick of Euros talking down to Americans? I'm sorry, why are you so fucking snowflakey and delicate? Are you such a delicate, insecure pussy? You can't have somebody asking for you to help them understand your culture more and your needs and requirements and what you think. Are you so fucking fragile that you can't handle it? Is that what it is? I bet you think of yourself as an alpha male as well, don't you? I'm an alpha male. Don't you talk about my country. I'll stop pissing and moaning on the internet. I'll type at you, you Euro cook motherfucker. Ah! I've not done that voice for a while. If I tore the back out my fucking throat. So I haven't got any answers there. Have you had any emails there, Cherry? Emails.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, before you started then.
No, it's a one-off happy dog I've got to read out. It's like,
I know why.
After the pod caps, all caps is no longer enough, Cherry. I've not even been on a podcast. The main problem about restricting access to guns for people with mental health is they no longer have the ability to defend their homes. Many mentally ill people have no thoughts of harming anyone. Cheers, bitches. And that was in quite big fucking letters, that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't have thoughts of hurting people. You've still got to question giving people with mental problems firearms. I don't I don't think it's unreasonable. So the suicide rate, isn't the suicide rate amongst firearm owners drastically higher, more likely to commit suicide? Because it's much easier to do it on an impulse thing, isn't it? So there's various reasons. It's not all about hurting people. I don't. Yeah, I genuinely fucking like America. I really, not that anyone gives a fuck, but I do. The couple of times I've been, I've loved it. I've got loads of American friends. I don't want to talk the place down. It's a fucking amazing country where something's wrong, and you've got levels of violence per capita now that are more common to some fucking third world shithole. You know, and it's concerning. And I've got family that live there and shit in Texas, for fuck's sake, where everyone's got a fucking gun.
Yeah, I like Texas. A lot of fun there.
I've never been to Texas.
Good.
I should, because I've got loads of family there I've never met. But
I want to go and see a guy back grave.
It's good.
Over there.
It'll look like many other graves.
Probably.
Oddly enough, on YouTube there was a general conversation about sterilising people with mental health, and I was like, how does this?
That's falling a little further towards eugenics, there, isn't it?
Just take away their ability to have kids, because that'll stop them shooting other people, shooting other children.
But you see, direct thinking, Graham. No fucking around with this. Oh, it's a complex issue. Pascal's wager sort of thing. Is it sort of Damocles way? Just the simple one. There we go. There we go. Kill them all.
We've got a non-1902. I think he's new to the show because he can't understand me, or she.
I think 1902 is just being a dick. Don't worry about
that. A non-1933 said don't sensationalise it on TV. There was quite a lot of people echoing that as well, which is a good point.
Well, the TV will roll it 24/7. It's good for viewing figures. That's all the news is. People think the news is some kind of it's just an information outlet. No, it's a business. It's entertainment. They just want you to watch all the time. Have you ever really watched 24-hour news?
Yeah, sometimes.
It's mind-numbingly terrible.
Yeah.
But the repetition sticks in your head. And do you remember what it used to be? It'd be like 3 a.m. It's either 24-hour news or QVC watching an hour-long program on scented draw liners. And that's a struggle. I made it to 58 minutes. Couldn't do the last 2. I felt like I knew everything I needed to know about scented draw liners. But yeah, 24-hour news, it's mind-numbing. It just turns your brain into porridge, because a lot of the time they've got to keep bringing new information to the table. Otherwise people tune out. But it's always unconfirmed reports. So in the old days, they'd have to go and confirm it and validate and say, look, this is what happened. Now they don't, because of the nature of rolling news. And we've heard this, we've heard that, we've heard the other. We know what journalists do now. They go on Twitter looking for two people kicking off about some bullshit like we spoke about, the gender apartheid fucking shopping trolleys, and they turn it into a news story that drags everyone in. I've heard, she's heard, this one, that one. This is what 24-hour news is becoming.
People are freaking out about it.
Yeah,
no, they're not. No,
it's
they're
fucking disgusting,
not.
and that is a big problem. That is definitely a big problem.
Well, the other side to them not sensationalising it is people tune in. If you didn't watch it, if the viewer numbers didn't go up, then they wouldn't cover it the way they do. They're only giving you what you want, you little whores. You love it.
Yeah, fucking lap it up, you dirty bastards.
Anon 1919 has said, let's be honest, America is one of Trump's shitholes.
I can't say that. I can't, because I genuinely fucking love the place and I love a lot of people from there. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, the no chat on Live Leak is up to 8 months now.
8 months, so we're getting there. It was 7 when I checked before.
Oh, triggering someone tonight.
And apparently our Cherry looks like a Tory tonight.
And on Trigger 902 says, Cherry, I'm not new. You
bumbling
half-wit. Who are you then? And on Trigger, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You're so special. You can
Do
call
I
him
look like
that.
a fucking Tory?
Apparently, yeah. You look like a snowflake
Snowflake.
last week. You look like a Tory this week.
I don't fucking melt, mate. Don't worry.
I've never understood people who just get on somewhere and bitch and moan constantly either. I really don't understand
I love it, me. I do.
Here's a good one. Crimson has said, you guys rock. I love what you're doing, giving free speech a voice. There you go.
Yeah.
Cheers, I guess. No, thanks. I appreciate it, but there's always rules everywhere. I guess, does that mean live leak? Trigger warning? What? I've no idea. I have no idea. Guys, we've got 3 minutes left. Fucking hell. That went quick. Remember, if you're already on there, go and have a look around. Triggerwarning.tv. You can sign up. Don't keep your information. I'm never going to fucking email you. I'm just not going to do it. But sign up, join the site. You can go and use the old school forums, which will, if you join the underground group, there's a little legend at the bottom of groups. Click to join. It's going to have a complete free speech section with only really 3 rules. No doxing. Nothing illegal. And don't take the butt hurt out into the other sections with you. That's going to be on there. Yeah, keep it in there. Be grown up.
It's true on the information as well, because I gave you my information. You still deleted it all, didn't you? I was like, come on, please.
It would be. There's just what you're going to harvest like a couple of thousand people. No, come on. It's not for this. It's not the way to do it. But do join us. Remember, if you want to help support the Trigger Warning Project, because it's just getting dramatically more fucking expensive all the time, head to patreon.com/triggerwarningtv. There's 2 tiers. There's a $1 tier where you get just an advanced stuff like the podcast and things like that. And there's a $4.99 tier where you get advanced things. You get extra podcast content. You get the Trigger Warning Safe Space mini shows pretty much every week. And there's a couple of other things in the works as well. And every penny will be spent on our infrastructure and just the ongoing costs of hosting and software packages and other things like that. The radio station's getting a push over the next month or 2. We're adding some shows to that. So it's all going on. And again, no information harvesting, no advertising. There's no advertising on Trigger Warning whatsoever. No shitty Google ads, nothing. The only ads that are up, there's some links to sites that either are linked to us, like Live Leak, or people we know, or people we like. They're the only things you'll see on there. There's no ads whatsoever. There won't be any ads. There are no plans to ever add any. It's not about that. So do check it out. Do join us. We'll be back next Thursday, 10 o'clock GMT. The podcast will be out a little earlier in the week. We'll be doing that. I don't know if there's a radio show this weekend. I'm not sure, because I'm still officially not started it up again yet. But keep in touch with the site, keep in touch with us on social media, Triggered TV on Twitter, and Trigger Warning on the mighty substantial Live Leak, of course. But until next week, guys, thank you so much for watching, for getting in touch. I'll try and catch up with as many of the comments and emails as I can. If there are any on YouTube, YouTube will hide them from me forever the minute we stop doing this, so I might not catch those. But everyone else, thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.